I'm hoping that my thing said. I think everything. Yeah, it's gonna send you the link to the
Okay.
live stream. That way, in case you hit for anything. Right. I think everything is set. Oh gosh, I keep knocking down my mic. You still with me, Star?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Okay, okay, okay. All right. Yeah, I'm just making sure everything's like all set up and stuff like that. Um, it's just I feel like Saturday has been like a short day but a long day at the same time.
I feel that.
How's work?
Um, I'm still looking for somewhere to work.
I've been like at the same job for like 10 years maybe, perhaps. But like
Yeah.
I'm like really
I was
tired.
I was hoping to last longer. I only lasted like 3 weeks, but only because I got sick and then management started being really mean. So they were
Yeah.
like, "Well, we're gonna have to let you go if this keeps being an issue." So I just quit.
Oh yeah, yeah. I would do the same thing. I mean, I wish I can do that now, but I've been there for like a long time and like
Yeah,
I'm like the brains of the school, so if I should leave and people would be really upset.
exactly. And like we work at a daycare, so it's like you can't expect me to not get sick. And
Yeah.
so they were just being very nitpicky, saying that like I was a problem for the other teachers when I was doing the job I was supposed to be doing. So
Hmm.
it wasn't a good match. But I'm still looking, so it's fine.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, if you're still looking, then that's good. Like if you're not in a rush or anything like that. So, um, just waiting for. I'm hoping. I'm thinking my stream has sound right. Like, double check.
When I was doing the job.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so it's working. It's working. So, I guess I'm going to get started. Let me switch over to my interview tab. My new layout is like super nice. I'm so glad I found it. It totally suits me. So, and I added your character to my
Oh yay!
isn't it cute? It looks so adorable. And then we can
It's beautiful.
Okay, so let me go ahead and pull out my
Oh,
notes.
we put casual cats in our pictures. That's adorable.
Oh my god, I love. Okay, so my cat is like a pain because I don't know why she won't stop. Like she wakes me up at 2, 3 in the morning, crying and crying, and then I wake up, and then it's like I just want to sleep that extra hour,
Yeah.
and she doesn't let me. I don't understand why. Like I don't get what I'm doing. I play with her, and then she's like a very unaffectionate cat, which I don't get why either. But
I I feel that. I was sleeping and my cat and my kitten don't fully get along very well. He chases her. So I'm sleeping and she jumps on top of me and she cuts my nose and my arm and I'm like, I'm trying to sleep. What do you want?
oh no, yeah, I don't know what it is with cats. I don't know. I don't. Really annoying. I just want him to let me sleep. Oh, put this on. And so I'm very. I think the one thing. Okay, I'm gonna. I always apologize to my guests. I'm very like unorganized.
It's okay.
I mean, I'm organized, but somewhat unorganized at the same time, and that's like so awful of me. But when you're live streaming, it's just not
Yeah.
I'm not a professional, guys. Bear with me. So, okay. I'm just trying to have my windows open so that I can. On. I think I am. Yes. No, I'm not. Now my other window closed. Oh. Never a dull moment with Penny. Okay, I'm gonna get started. Okay, guys. So all y'all in the chat, welcome to another edition of Behind the Machinima. Today I have starred the laVega. She has been filming in the Machinima community for the last, I guess, 10 years, right? Star, about 10 years.
Yeah, almost 10 years.
Wow, that's like so long. That's like I don't know, crazy long. So you have Flyaway, which is a series that's because you have two channels, right? Also, you have like
Yes.
your main,
Yes.
and then like a second one.
Yeah, the second one's a backup.
Okay, your backup, and her series is mostly like a teen base. She follows Star Little Vega and her friends in school. They get into a lot of issues, so it's a really cute show. If y'all have not seen it, I suggest y'all check it out. She also has her own flyaway shop, which once I finish the stream, I will add everything in the description down below. I have purchased stuff from there, so they're super, super cute. I still have my teddy bear on my shelf, so it's so awesome to have it. And my washi tape, I have it. I took it to work with me because I use it on my calendar. Yeah. So it's so fun, and also she has a Discord too. When I after the stream, I will add that link into the description because I'm so bad and so organized, and that's just how Penny rolls. So, what's fun about her Discord? I know I'm on it. She has these weekly challenges, which where she sings a song and we have to guess what character. I think I just always just say back at everyone, but then I said it at the wrong time when it was supposed to be about a girl. But that's just how I am because I'm so random. But yeah, her Discord is super fun. If y'all haven't checked it out, y'all need to check it out. I will add the link later down below. So with further ado, I'm gonna move on to my questions. So Star, can you tell me like how did you get into Machinima? Like how did it all begin?
So I was 12 and it was like Thanksgiving, and I discovered directors like the Laundry One. She goes by Pixel Crack now. And then there's Natalie FireX, and then back in the day there was also Chairs Productions. And I liked the premise of the decorating of Natalie series, My Life. And I loved how Jessica, that's Pixel Crack, her series was voiced over, and it made me want to combine the two and make my own version. And that's how I started my very first Sims Machinima back in the day.
Uh-huh.
And so it was a very unique idea to me, and I was very excited because I always liked storytelling and like plays. So it was basically my turn to do it myself. And that's how I got into the Machinima community.
Oh my god. So like you started Machinima and then just went with it.
Yes.
So let's go back to that was the first Machinima you ever saw. What was the name of it again? I'm sorry.
No, those were the people I would watch.
So like what was the first Machinima you saw, like where you were just like, whoa, what's this?
Ooh, for doodles. Okay, that's a hard one. I'm pretty sure the first Machinima I saw was a 4-part miniseries called True Things by Daya95. It was about a little girl and a little boy who were like best friends, but one day the little girl moves away. But they're later reunited in life, and I thought it was like the cutest thing ever. And I always tried to recreate the story in my own gameplay when I was younger. So like I was always so amazed by like how they set it up. Like there's a scene where like it says they're moving, so they use like the vacation car
Yeah.
to make it seem like a moving truck, and I thought that was so cool. And I had played The Sims, but like I never thought, oh, if they move out, are they gonna take suitcases with them? I thought that idea was adorable, and I tried recreating everything when I was younger. Obviously, it was not a match, but it was super cool to see.
Yeah, I can't even remember which first one I saw. Whoops, because it was so long ago. Even if I try, I couldn't. Hey Lou, welcome to the stream. Hey Luana, it's so funny. Both Lou's are just arriving at the same time. Hope y'all are enjoying your Saturday night. I'm here with Star. I will let y'all ask some questions in a bit, but you know, being that I'm the host, I could go first. So let's go back to Fly Away. So how did you come up with the idea of Fly Away?
So, if you didn't already know, Fly Away is based off of my life, and so are the other nine main characters. And when I was in middle school, I made some friends. That's it. That's the story. No, I'm just kidding. These friends I made in middle school, they opened up an enlightenment in my life.
Yeah.
And I was so happy to be with people that were just like me, and it inspired me to make a series based off of us. Now, Flyaway's mainly focused on the things that I've been through, but to make it fair, I put a lot of those experiences that I've been through onto the other characters just to kind of like balance it out so it's not always focused on Star. But the inspiration for the series was just my life at the current time and the people who were a part of it.
Oh, that's so cool. And it's so awesome. And I know a lot of us do that where we take a lot of our personal things from our life and we put it into our machinima. That's what makes it kind of unique. So I think that's kind of cool that you used yourself and then your friends and then you kind of made it fair. And I think what's good about your series that you bring a lot of realism to it because you experience a lot of that. So it's really, really good to watch that on screen. So this is probably gonna be like a really, really hard question. So who from your series is like your favorite character?
Okay, so I would have to say Star, and that's really big coming from me because I used to hate her so much because she's me. Yeah. I hated how annoying she was and how much she cried, which funnily enough, I don't cry as much as she does. But when I started growing, she started growing as a character, and it really made me find self-love within myself and within her. So she really grew on me as she got older. But besides her, I really like Zach. It's so much fun to write for him, and maybe it's because I just hear Ryan's voice every time I write for this character. He's funny and goofy, and every time I write scenes with him and food, it just makes me laugh.
Oh my god! And actually, I think Zach would have to be my favorite character, just because Ryan brings he really does bring that character to, like, I don't know, like I feel like he's like my little baby brother or something like that. And I'm just like, oh my god, like, because my brother does kind of the same thing where he just always eats all the time. So that's like my favorite character. And I also like Maddie. I don't know.
Yeah.
I guess it's because it's Gambit, and I'm just so
used
to Gambit like everywhere. So I'm just like, I just love that guy. He's just so cute.
Yeah, it's funny because the real Zach, he's only in my show because the guy I liked at the time was in another one of my projects. So I just threw Zach in there. But the guy Zach is based off of is a jerk. So he's not nice like he is in the show. Oh, wow. But when Ryan took the role, he kind of made the character his own character. So now when I think of Zach, I think more of like Ryan, like how Ryan's all obsessed with like anime and Dragon Ball Z and food, and it's his own character now. So now whenever I think of Zach, I don't think of the original guy, I think of Ryan because Ryan truly made that character his own.
Oh yeah,
And I think it's so cool just watching how I went from one concept to him totally transforming into a totally different person.
yeah, and he's super talented. Like, so when you did Fly Away, did you do like a, I don't know, I guess back then when I remember when we were back in Sims 99, we would like email directors. But this was like a long time ago, guys. But oh god, that's gonna reveal how old I am. But well, everybody already knows. But how did you kind of find your voice actors? Because
So back in the day when my friend Jessica still went by the Hauntry One, she and annotations were still a thing.
mhm,
She would link to all of her voice actors in the credits, and that's how I found Ryan because he was a part of the series that I watched growing up. And I asked him because at the time I had a series about secrets. It was called Keep My Secret. It no longer exists. There's bits and pieces of it left on my channel, but the
mhm,
storyline's not there anymore. But
yeah.
I messaged him one day and I asked him, "Hey, you voice act in this super cool series Saturday nights. Would you be interested in voicing for me?" And he was totally down. And from that project, he signed on to another project of mine. And it's funny because he actually took a year to turn in lines for me one time for a totally different project. But I thought it was funny because I totally forgot that I didn't have his lines. So we both came to each other one day and we were like, "Oh, hey, I never got those lines." And it was like a year later. He's way better about lines now. Um, and Gimbitman was a part of everything at the time. So it
Yeah.
was really easy for me to message him and say, "Hey, I need a replacement voice actor. Would you be interested? Also, would you be interested in auditioning for another project of mine?" And the project that I wanted him to audition for was actually Fly Away. And
Mhm.
I think it's funny because he actually auditioned for the role of Dustin. And
Oh.
obviously his voice does not fit the role of Dustin.
No, no,
But
because he's just so adorable.
exactly. And so basically, it was just kind of a mix of watching other directors' projects and seeing if they would link their actors, or I would look up auditions for other projects, and that's why I
Mhm.
would find other actors. And I actually found Godzilla Man through Gimbitman because we voiced in this show called Lab Pets, which I think was made by Gimbitman's sister.
Oh.
And that's how I found Godzilla Man. And he was actually the understudy for Dustin
Oh, wow.
because I had another voice for Dustin, but he went off to the Navy. So then Godzilla Man stepped in and he just kind of made the role his own, and then he became Dustin. But that's kind of how I found my voice actors, which I just kind of searched, and then I would email them myself. I never really got auditions for Flyaway, so Flyaway was a lot of closed casting because
Mhm.
nobody really auditioned. So I had to go out on my own and find people who fit the parts, which at times was really hard because people would say yes, but then they
Yeah.
wouldn't turn in their audio. So then you'd have to go and find another person, and it was a very tedious process.
And I think that's like for all of us. Well, I mean, it's a little bit easier now, but I guess for in the beginning when you're starting off, it's pretty difficult to get voice actors, you know.
Yeah,
So, and it's good because what's cool about what I love about your series, I know that it's been on for 10 years, but I'm guessing Ryan and Gimbit and Godzilla Man have been the ones that have stuck by you through your whole
yeah,
entire series.
yeah.
Because I mean, by what I've said.
Gambitman's Gambitman's the only original besides me in Fly Away, but Ryan has been in my other projects,
Mhm.
so he's kind of been by me my whole side too. He's just newer to Fly Away,
Yes.
so
And it's so cool. I mean, I guess I have to give some. I mean, and I think Gibbet Man is kind of like awesome. And I think like Lou and I always say, well, mostly Lou, that he deserves an all-time Academy Award for being in so much series. So it's just so awesome that you've had him and other ones with you for a long time. So my next thing is, what is your writing process for your script? I know I've seen, all of y'all have probably seen my discords and stuff like that, or the discords. I know we all have trouble scripts writing. I'm in writer's block right now. But how is your process when you're writing your scripts? I know right now you're working on your finale, so I'm assuming that's probably been really stressful. But do you have anything that you do?
okay, so it took me forever to realize that this would be the easiest for me. But for the finale, at least, I started splitting my scripts into smaller pieces. So, like, for example, my finale right now is going to be 3 parts long. But I always get so overwhelmed while writing it because there's so much that I want to happen, and seeing that I'm only on like scene 12 out of so many scenes, it stresses me out. So what I did was I started breaking it up. So I would put 6 scenes on each page, and I would just go from there. That way I know that I'm not done with the script, but at least I know I'm done with that section of the script. So then when all of those pieces are done, I come back and I paste them into one bigger part. So like part 1 has like 20 scenes probably, and like they each have enough amount to make one part of the finale. Same with the second part. It's a whole bunch of parts to make the second part. And then I'm currently working on the third part right now, the third and final part of the finale.
Yeah.
And it was really hard because I used to just sit there and write my scripts until I finished. It would go like scene 1 all the way to scene 15 or whatever. And it always stressed me out because I'd be sitting there on scene 5 thinking, oh my God, I've got to make 15 scenes and I'm only on scene 5. So I learned to break it into multiple pieces and then combine it all together at the end. And I think that's the easiest thing for me, at least. And it makes my brain feel so much less stressed because then I at least know that I'm making it to where I want to make it, even if there's still so much that needs to be written, because now I only need to write for those many scenes that are on the page.
Oh, wow. And that's probably a good idea. I really need to try that. I mean, like, so how long are your scripts? Like an episode for an episode.
So for an episode, it kind of depends. I try to for at least season 3 at least. I tried to stick to 15 scenes each. But that's because to me season 3 was a mix of a bunch of episodes together, so that way I could get a lot more done. But it really depends. Sometimes it's like 10 pages long, sometimes it's 20 pages long. So it depends on how long my the actual scenes are. But yeah.
And Alec, is that you? Hello, Star. You and Penny are so cute. That ILYS. I don't even know what that. Okay.
It's I love you so much.
Oh, okay. Okay, Alec, you know that I am very not linguistic with the terms and the I actually just learned this week because the kids at school had told my husband that he was dripping. I was like, what is that? And then my husband's like, I guess meaning that I look cool. And I go, but why dripping? Like, it doesn't make sense. And then the kid said something dripping, something else. So I had to Google it, and it does. I don't know any of the terminologies, guys. I'm so sorry. But that's just me because I don't socialize as much unless it's with anybody here. But when it comes to linguistics, I am very bad at it. LOL, Penny is such a boomer. Yes, okay, I am a boomer, a big boomer. But hey, the Connie, right? The Moon Cave is Connie. Connie, welcome to the stream. She says, I love that it's such a part of your own story. Selena, hi, welcome to the stream. Rabbit, Penny, your mic is quite quiet compared to. Oh, okay, so I guess because I didn't raise my volume. Is that better? I didn't know. If my mic is horrible, it's Lou's fault. That's what he convinced me. He's convinced me to buy 2 mics. So I own 3 mics now.
I would have never guessed, but only because I can only hear you. So in my ears, I can't hear me though. So
it's hard. LOL. Yes, strip is vaguely used in references to express flashy fashion. Okay, well I didn't know that. I'm sorry. Okay, so and I know there's a 2-part to this one. So what is do you have like what is your favorite parts of filming when you're filming and editing?
Okay, that one, I know I've said this for a lot of them, but I guess my favorite part of filming would be setting up the scene. Like I really like making the sets and decorating it And when like I put the characters on the set that I've just decorated, it really feels magical to me because I've sat there and I've written all of these things. So watching these sets and my characters say the words that I've been imagining in my head for so long, I think that's my favorite part of filming is setting everything up and watching it come alive.
Oh, I love that too. I love set building. I think I've improved so much, but it's so tedious. But I think out of everything, that's probably my favorite part as well. So, what are your dislikes? Like, what do you hate about filming and editing?
I dislike how limited we are when it comes to filming in The Sims. It really puts a strain on what I can and can't write. Like, I
True.
get so many ideas, but then I have to sit there and go, wait, is this possible to do in The Sims? And with, like, some of the new animations, it's a little bit easier, but it's also a little bit harder because they're not real people. So I
Yeah.
can't do the most extreme things that I think that I can do. I also don't like the glitches. Like
True.
in The Sims 2, we have something called pink glitch from like when our memory starts to lag and when we've got too much stuff in there, and it can be a pain. I know this is one that I'm struggling with right now, but like I'll download some new things that I need for my sets.
Mm-hmm.
And there's one part in my buy mode where if I go too far into that section of buy mode, my game crashes. So it's hard for me because I'll be downloading all these things that I need for my sets and what I need for the scenes, and I have no idea where it gets stuck in the game. And I always have to take the risk that by going into that folder, I'm going to make the whole entire game crash. And it's just, it's a pain. Whereas at least if this was real life, I wouldn't have to worry about my game crashing when I needed sets. So
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
that's what I dislike the most is just the crashing and the glitches and how limited we are.
Yeah, it's true. Like, have you ever thought of? I know Flyaway is done in Sims 2, and I know you probably had like you had one special where you went to Sims 4. Have you thought of filming in Sims 4? Uh,
Besides the one special I had, I haven't really thought about filming in The Sims 4 only because I kind of need a Sims game that I can play. And right
it's
now,
true.
that to me, that's 3 and 4. But like I would love to play The Sims 2, but because I use it for filming, I've kind of ruined it for myself, so I
Mm-hmm.
can't. And it's hard for me to play other Sims games too because I want people to see what I'm doing. So, but
Yeah.
no, I never really thought about filming in The Sims 4 besides the one special, only because the camera controls really confuse me. So
Mm-hmm.
it would take a long time to get used to the camera controls, and like just the one special I filmed was very hard for me because I had to get used to filming in the other two games.
Yeah.
And it was a pain because I'm so used to like the boxes for our poses and animations. And in The Sims 3, I think you have to type in everything for like your animations and stuff. And
Oh wow.
Sims 4 was a little bit easier, but with the restrict of not being able to pick up the Sims, it's a little bit of a pain. So
Yeah. I mean, we have the tool thing, but it's still a pain in the butt whenever we're doing anything. I mean, I wish we had more freedom in either game. I wish there was some things that we had from Sims 2 that we
yeah,
have in Sim 4, but it just doesn't happen like that, which is really, really sucky.
yeah,
So,
it's sad.
yeah. So, how does it feel that you've been in the Sims community for so long? Because I mean, you've been in the community for 10 years. You've been directing, editing, writing for 10 years. How does that make you feel being 10 years in?
It feels weird, I'm not gonna lie, and it's mainly because there's a handful of people who have also been around the same time as I have. So
Mm-hmm.
knowing that I kind of grew up with these other directors, it it's weird, but it also makes me proud that I was able to dedicate myself to one project for so long. And like I don't know very many Sims voiceover projects that have two full seasons and almost a complete third. Like, I know
Yeah.
there's a whole lot of Sims Machinima out there with many seasons. And I know The Rivers is, like, I think in the middle of the second season.
Yeah.
But to me, Fly Away started off as, like, a subtitle series back in 2013. So knowing that it came from 2013 all the way down to 2021 makes me feel really proud of myself, because all of my other projects were a flop. And it's funny to me because Fly Away was actually a mini series. It was just something that I was supposed to be doing for fun, and eventually it kind of became what I was known for, and it just kind of became the show on my channel, which makes me laugh because it was supposed to be something really small. But I really happy because I used to be a lot smaller than I am now, and it feels amazing to know that I'm actually a part of the community now. Like, back in the day, I was very invisible. Like, there were smaller Sims channels that knew me, but like, I never thought I'd be working with people like Luana and Forever Loud X and Rabbit and all these people that are just, they've got great content, and they're all the people that I looked up to when I was starting out, and like Natalie Fire X and stuff. They just, to see them still going today and stuff, it makes me feel happy knowing that I made it, because I went from being really small to being a part of the actual community, and it just feels great to be able to work with so many other great and talented people.
Yeah, I totally relate to that, because I think I started like in 2015, and I was completely under a different channel and everything like that. And back then it wasn't a big community like it is now. It was just us on a website. So when I came back, I kind of was like that. Like, nobody knew how I was. I've had series that have completely like not or non-existent that nobody knows about. So I get it that it's hard to kind of, you're invisible, you're small, and you're just trying to at least get someone to notice you. So it's hard. It's kind of like being in high school in a way, where just like you're just trying to find your niche. And it's so awesome that you've been here for so long, and it's so awesome that we've had a chance to meet you, especially when you come to the streams and everything. So it's so awesome that you're here, and you've been here for the 10 years and really stuck by the series. And what I think for me, what's really impressed me about this series, because when you first started off, I mean, we all start off not perfect, but your filming technique and your writing technique from the 10 years, I mean, you can see how much you've improved, and you can see how amazing you are, and how we can see how hard you work. So you should be proud of yourself for being here for so long and committing to something for so long, because it's been an awesome joy just to watch the series, because I do watch the episodes here and there, and I've watched from the beginning to like when I couldn't believe you did a film, because I said, oh my god, how can somebody do a film and sit for an hour? I don't even want to do 30 minutes. So
yeah, I've got like 4 films, I think.
Yeah, I
commend Fly Away, and then there were a couple of mini films for the older version of Fly Away.
Yeah.
And it makes me laugh when you talk about how far I've come with filming quality, because I mean, just the video you have on your stream, my quality used to be way worse than that when Fly Away actually started almost 9 years ago. So
wow.
To me, this is an improvement from old Fly Away, but season 3 is definitely an improvement from the first season of Fly Away.
Yeah. But you've done awesome. And I so look forward to seeing the finale, because I think it's going to be emotional for everybody. So I'm looking forward to that. So who are your favorite directors right now, and what shows are you watching? Like, what Sims shows are you really into?
So I'm gonna answer the shows I'm following first. Basically, I'm following a lot of the newer stuff right now. I really like Sushi Cat series and Hannah's, and I might just be biased because I'm in Hannah's series, but her stuff is really great. I'm a fan of everything made by you and Lou and Alec. I'm really excited for Alec's series to come out. His stuff is really pretty, and I know that we've only really seen his animated videos and his previews, but I get excited every time I watch his stuff because it's so pretty. And Tia's stuff, her stuff is just so like, it's aesthetically pleasing to my eyes to watch Tia's stuff.
Yeah.
So I get excited whenever Tia comes out with her little videos, no matter if it's invisible or her music videos. I just get excited because she's got so much dedication to sit there and make everything line up properly. And I'm also a fan of Selena Sailor Guardian series because I've never really seen Sailor Moon, and her show just kind of, I thought it was really cool to see somebody do a very similar story in sim form. And then for the directors who were my inspirations, like I stated earlier, Theontry One, who's now Pixel Crack, she was always a huge inspiration for me, and we're actually best friends now, which is super cool to me because I looked up to her so much growing up. Like I had like a whole binder full of things for her show, and I would message her on Facebook, and it just makes me happy knowing that I'm her friend because I looked up to her for so long. And then Tia is also another one of my inspirations, only because, like I said, her stuff is just so pretty, and like I see her tweets where it's like everybody can get their videos out so fast, and I'm like, yeah, but my stuff doesn't look as nice as Tia's. Like, it's good for me, but like Tia puts in so much dedication, and she sits there and fully plans out her sets, and to me that's something that I'm not patient enough to do. Like, I'm impatient writing the script because I want to film, but I want it to look perfect. And the fact that Tia has the patience to sit there and make it look perfect so that way it pleases us, that's something I look up to as well. So
yeah, I don't have the patience that Tia has, because there's no way I'm gonna sit and try to really sync it. I mean, I can see. I mean, she has 5 episodes, and it takes her like months, so I can't. Yeah, I get you. I don't have the patience for it. Even then, when I film, I'm just like, oh God, am I done yet? Am I done yet? And that's bad because you want to put, your work, but then there's moments, and I do that where I'm just like, that scene looks bad.
yeah,
but I'm just gonna leave it like that. But I get it. I get it.
That was absolutely me with the Dustin movie that came out, Hooray. I wanted it to look so perfect, and for most of the scenes, almost all of them, I put in all of my hard effort. I try to make the scenes look beautiful, but the scene that threw me off the most was the very first scene. The very first scene was what actually filmed last. And I got all the scenes done, and I was so excited that I had one more to film. But I had no idea how to open up the film so that way it was pleasing. And I really wish I would have put more thought into it because I'm not happy at all with the way that it was set up. And I wish I would have taken more time with it so that way it could have flowed better. But even watching it now, like I'm proud of my actors for that film because, I mean, the plot itself wasn't that great, but the actors brought the film to life, and that's all that matters to me, was seeing all of the emotion, and it made me happy even though my filming wasn't the greatest for the film. And I just wish that I could have taken my time with it, and that's why I'm trying to be super patient with the finale, because it's the very last of Fly Away. I want it to be as perfect as it can be, and that's also why I've split it up into 3 parts, because I know the film itself is going to be really long in general. And after that, like, hour-long film for the Plum Bub Awards, I knew nobody was going to be able to sit through the whole entire thing. Yeah. So I split it into 3 parts. They're probably going to be like 40 minutes each, if I'm lucky, maybe an hour each. But they're not going to be uploaded on the same day. I plan to split them up by months. So that way part 1 can come out sometime in the summer, and then part 2 in like the fall, and then like part 3 in the winter. That way when it's done, it's not like I've just dropped it and I'm done. It's like I still have more to the plot to come, and then after the third and final part, then it's done. And then I feel like then I won't feel as sad because it's split into multiple parts. So
yeah, I think that's a good idea, that it's kind of like you're prolonging a little bit, but you're still kind of ending it at the same time, just kind of easing out slowly. So how does it, like, have you already told, I mean, I'm pretty sure your voice actors know that this is going to be the finale. Have they expressed how they feel about that? Are they going to, you think they're going to feel weird about not voicing these characters anymore?
I think the only person I've really talked about it with was Ryan, and every time I ask him, he says he feels old because he's been voicing in Fly Away since it originally came out in 2013.
Yeah.
So, and I totally understand that, because to me, I feel sad because it's like the series finally kind of wraps itself around, gets a good closure to where it's supposed to actually end. And my voicers, they're just... I don't know how all the others feel. I just know that Ryan says he's going to feel sad not being able to play Zach all the time and not seeing it come to life and not getting to say weird things. And like I said, he feels old because he's been doing it for so long. And I think it's funny because he's only like 4 years older than me. So hearing him say he feels old is fascinating to hear.
I know. And what's funny is that he doesn't sound old. Well, I mean, I guess because he's a voice actor and they can manipulate, but I mean, I did a reading with him because he's gonna be in Great Heights in this new episode. So when I sat with him, I'm like, are you gonna do any other voicing? He's like, no, I'm just doing Fly Away. He's like, I'm just chill. But he's just so nice and so like down to earth. Like, he's such a pleasure to talk to, and he's such a good friend because he can message people and say, hey, what's up, how's it going, stuff. So it's awesome that him and Gambit have all been friends for like so long. It's so cool. Lou asked, what's your inspiration for every time you write?
It kind of fluctuates based off of what my interests are at the moment. So like if I watch Riverdale, I get like full into like the true crime kind of thing, and it just makes me want to bring my story out a little bit more and make it a little bit more dramatic. But like then I've got my moments where like I've been watching a lot of like romantic animes. Like I watched a lot of anime during the second season. So when you watch the second season feels like it came out of an anime because I watched a lot of anime and I played a lot of Animal Crossing. So it's got the nice, relaxed, cute aesthetic to it. But like it just kind of depends on what my mood is at the moment, because when I watch a lot of romantic films, it makes me want to write romantic scenes when I write. When I do a lot of painting, it makes me want to do a lot of outdoorsy scenes because I like to paint scenery.
Yeah.
But it's just kind of depends on what I'm into at the moment. Many things make multiple ideas come up. When I was little, we used to go to the amusement park, and I always saw my characters at an amusement park, and it's kind of hard to do in The Sims. So that's why it never really came to. But that excites me. But I guess also there's a new mod coming out for The Sims 2 where you can build your own roller coasters.
Oh, wow.
And
that's cool.
I actually linked myself the video because I thought it might come in handy for the finale. I don't know if it will just yet, but I thought we've been here for a long time, and the things that I've imagined when I was so young are kind of finally forming into place now, and I think that's so cool.
Yeah, that is awesome. That's super, super cool. Lou also asked, what's your plans for future Machinima?
So I don't really have plans for future Machinima. When Fly Away is over, that's kind of my way of leaving the community. I think I'll still upload occasionally to my backup channel for like the little minis that I've been doing, because those are super fun to me. And like I don't see myself like flat out dropping out of the community once Fly Away ends, but I won't be starting any new projects or anything. So if I do continue to make any sort of Sims content. It's all going to be on that channel, and there'll probably just be little videos that people have requested to see. So
Yeah.
I don't see me doing any new projects, any new episodes, anything after all 3 parts of the finale come out.
But you'll still be doing like voice acting and stuff like that.
Yes.
That's cool.
Yes,
That's cool.
I'll still be voice acting.
Because don't tell me that. Because I'll be like, I just asked you to be. Don't leave.
Yeah. Like, I don't know if I'll go out of my way to audition for new projects, but if people want me, I'll join their project if they want me in their project. But I don't know if I'll go out of my way to audition for new projects unless it really interests me. So,
okay. Yeah.
But like, I'll take on roles now because I'm still a part of it. I'll still voice act if I'm a main for you or whatever. I will still voice for you. I will lend you my voice. I'm not really going anywhere. I'm just not making content in The Sims anymore.
Okay.
Until, Flyaway becomes big. Then it might depend on if I continue voice acting.
You're like, I'll see y'all later if it's big. So he also asks, any series you excited for in the future? I'm guessing he means, are there any series or new episodes of content that you're looking forward to seeing? I know you mentioned Alec.
Yeah.
I know he said in chat that he is on a vacation right now, Alec. Like, how you need to like come back from vacation, but I get it. I understand he's on vacation. But no rush too. I mean, because what we've seen from him is really, really beautiful. So I get that he needs a vacation. But besides like that is I guess Lou's asking, is there any episodes or something that you're looking forward to like coming out?
So I know Sushi Cat is currently filming her next episode of Summer Days. I got to watch her film a little bit of that, so I'm super excited for the next episode of that to come out. I don't remember the name of the series, but Mitch linked the trailer today, and I watched that, and yeah. I'm super excited for that to come out. And then, of course, I'm excited for the next episode of Great Heights and all the projects that are already out that I've already watched, like yours, Tia's, Lou's. I'm excited for all of that. And there's a whole lot of projects coming out that I'm really excited to watch all of them. I'm excited for East Vale to come out by CSIM Productions.
Oh yeah, I'm excited about that one too.
So there's a handful. I know there's a lot coming out, and I know I'm not going to be able to name them all, but I'm excited for that. Those ones.
And speaking of like favorite series and stuff, do you have a favorite episode from Flyaway? Because I mean you have like 2-3 seasons, right? And
yeah,
that's a lot of episodes. Is there certain episodes that you're interested in seeing? Like, I mean, what are your favorite episodes that I totally worded that wrong. Like, one of your favorite episodes. Like, for me, my favorite episode is when everybody's voices have all switched around. Like, I love that episode. I just think
that's the one you have playing right now.
Yes, and I saw it and I said, this is my favorite episode. I think I've watched it like 3 times just because everybody is voicing their voices are switched. I think it's so funny and so clever that I love it. But that's my favorite episode. So do you have favorite episodes or an episode that really meant a lot to you?
So I think I've stated it before. I'm really a big fan of season 2. And I think it's because that's when I personally was going through a lot emotionally. So that's kind of when a lot of emotions kind of came out and a lot more deeper plots. But the one that comes to my mind, it's pretty sad. This is when my filming started increasing. It was episode 5 of season 2. Mm-hmm. And just what happens in it, there's a really sad moment between Star and Zach. And I don't know if everybody has gotten to season 2 yet, so I'm not gonna say too much without actually spoiling it. It's one of my absolute favorites because Ryan's acting for episode 5 in season 2 is it's beautiful, and it really shows a different side of Zach, and I really recommend that you watch it. I like middle season 2 as well. That's when like Star gets her appendix taken out and stuff, and we get to see a little bit more of Dustin's nice side. That's kind of when like the characters kind of start coming together and bonding, and they just kind of start. That's when like their friendships are starting to spiral, and they kind of realize that they're all they have. But those are kind of, I would say those are probably my favorite. I mean, up to date, I'm in love with Bluebird. That's the latest episode that's come out. And I think I'm in love with it because everybody's emotion in it is so, it's perfect. And the filming is my most beautiful filming I've done yet. And I'm obsessed with the end credits. I don't know why. Every time the end credits plays on Bluebird, it makes me want to cry. And I don't know why. It just makes me feel so many different ways. And I always get so excited. And I think it just empowers me to continue writing the finale because basically episode 5 is kind of like an early setup for what's to happen in the finale.
I'm excited about it. I think like the latest episode was really, really like beautifully filmed, edited. To me, your best episode, like just in general, not because I am in it or anything like that, but no, I mean, I just feel that it took you to another level, and it was just so emotional. And it's sometimes hard for us to capture emotion in a series, and I know some people try and sometimes it doesn't come through, but that episode, I mean, just seeing Star and her friend just too busy with this other guy. By the other guy, I forgot his name. I do not like him. I want to play the episode.
Clayton.
Clayton. So I'm very bad with names. I feel bad. I was writing my script today and I said, wait a minute, I forgot the name of one of my characters, and then I had to go back. But I have a dozen things on my mind, so it happens. But I just think it was just so well written and so well directed. It really, really did, like, I mean, I guess because I've seen situations like that and I've been through that. So it was such a great episode. So you did beautifully on that one. So congratulations on that.
Well, thank you.
Welcome to the stream, Glitter Crack, right? I'm saying it right.
That's Jessica.
Welcome,
who
Jessica.
I was talking about earlier.
Yes.
And then that's Frankie.
Hi, Frankie.
They're also in the server, so
they're also in the server. Awesome. I don't know which is my favorite episode. That's hard. Then Jesse, what's your favorite episode? This one. I guess we were talking about favorite episodes, but for me, this one's my favorite episode where everybody has different voices. Connie asks, what is the one thing you know now about making machinima that you wish you knew when you first started?
To take my time. Back when I started in 2012, I was constantly whipping out episodes every single day. And that was also when it was subtitled, so it was a lot easier to do it when it was subtitled, to get them out every day, but they had no plot at all. Like, I was watching the very first episode of Old Fly Away when they were in college the other day.
Yeah.
And just, it makes me laugh because I looked at the description, and it's just me saying this episode has no plot at all, feel free to skip. And it just it makes me laugh because basically that first episode, which is kind of an introduction to who the characters were and what life would be like with them in college, and just watching how I progressed from not having an actual plot to Fly Away to having somewhat of a plot. Like, Fly Away still doesn't fully have a plot, it's just a bunch of teenagers struggling in their lives right now. But like other shows I've watched, they actually have plots that they've put a lot of effort into, and Fly Away is just kind of something that came up with at the spur of the moment. So when people ask me, what is the plot for Fly Away? It's always just like, I guess it's just teenagers trying to figure out who they are and where they belong and how they're going to make it through life, because that's kind of how it is. But I think for Fly Away, it's a lot more of the realistic side to life. And it's easy for me to write because I went through a lot of like bullying and all that bad stuff in high school. So that's kind of where all of the emotions come through. And that's why, to me, it feels so important to establish that this is based off of stuff that I've gone through.
Yeah.
And then, you've got some of the little magical sides, like this one where they switch voices. Like, we have fun. So it's like life is full of fun moments, but also full of the serious moments too.
Mm-hmm.
And I think to me that's the premise of Fly Away, is that life will be life.
And that's true. Very, very true. I like watching teen-based shows just because I guess it takes me back to when I was younger, which was very crazy times, different generations, guys. But it's so fun how you have all these things happen to each one of your characters. Now, I know we're already getting closer to the end and they're gonna start going to college.
Yes.
I know me and Lou and Alec express how much we dislike Star's friends and Star needs new friends. So is it possible you can give us a little bit of information? Like, are you having new characters in your finale? Like, what? Just little.
So
hints?
it is a mix of both.
Okay.
Without spoiling too much, there's a big fight that breaks out between Star and all of her friends.
Mm-hmm.
And it kind of helps push them to go their own ways.
Mm-hmm.
So when they go to college, it's just Star and Matheson and Zach. And the whole college kind of just focuses on Star and Raina and Matheson for a long time, and then Zach comes in at the end of college. But Star makes new friends. She's got Tia, who plays herself, and then there's another girl. She's French and she's from Paris, and she also becomes Star's friend. We do get a lot new conflict with Star. Matheson gets a friend, and he's known this girl for quite a long time in his life, I guess. And her and Star don't get along, but only because when Star upsets Matheson, Matheson tends to say mean things about Star to this girl, which causes some conflict between Star and this other girl, which was actually based off of a thing that I actually just battled with, like, for a couple of months. I'm not battling with it anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But it really inspired me to put that into the show. I feel bad for putting it onto Matheson because I love Matheson, but the person who did this to me is the most like Matheson. And watching Star and Matheson's relationship, like their friendship at in college towards the end of the finale, is just, it's not doing too good. And
because he kind of has liked her for a long time, right?
Yes. He's always had a big crush on her. I'm not going to say whether they get together or not because that's a spoiler. But just the way their friendship, like they it's not doing too good towards the very end, and it's all because Matheson's not very good at telling Star how he's truly feeling on the inside, and so because he's not good with his emotions, he tends to accidentally say things that he's not supposed to say to the wrong people. I can say that Raina is definitely one of my favorite characters in the finale. I think she's the only one that's not mean in the finale. I mean, Dustin, he's a lot better in the finale. He's still bad, but he's a lot better. Matheson, like I said, takes a whole different turn. Star, because she's in college and, I'm going through it too, Star shows a lot more of a different side of herself. We see that when it comes to bigger projects, she gets stressed out very easily. And when she gets stressed out, she tends to lash out when she doesn't mean to. Yeah. So Star goes through this hard part of learning how to rely on herself and how to not take her stress out on people. And she accidentally hurts people along the way, but she does make some new friends. She makes friends with Tia and Tia's friends, who are voiced by Alec and Lou. And it's just, writing for their characters feels good to me because it's good people. I like writing for the bad ones too because it helps me alleviate the pain that I've had. But I like writing for characters like Tia and Genevieve and Alec and Lou's characters. They bring comfort to me knowing that Star has some kind of positivity in her life and that it's not just bad.
Yeah, and I'm excited. Like, that's what I was really hoping for. Not that I don't love her friends. Her friends are there, but sometimes her friends are little tools. And
exactly.
I think just Star has gone through a lot and a lot of issues that I feel her friends kind of overlooked her and kind of haven't really fully seen her. I think she's just
Exactly.
been a friend that's just been there, and I just feel for me like she just needs better friends. But
See, Stars,
that's yeah, go ahead.
she's kind of, in a way, the glue of the friendship. She kind of brought everybody together. But at the end of the day, all of her friends also have something that they're battling with. And
Yeah.
because Star requires a lot of appreciation and attention to know that
Mhm.
she's properly existing, it kind of gets on her friends' nerves because
Mhm.
they've got their own things going on. And so when Star tries to, when she's a little bit overbearing, um, it gets really annoying because, like, I'm going to use Dustin for an example. He's got his whole past with his family, and like,
Yeah.
he, um, so he's a very grumpy character, and I feel bad because he is mean to Star in times, but there's also times where it's like he can't help being annoyed, like kind of like how Star, when she gets stressed out, smallest things will end up bothering her. And Dustin's kind of the same way.
Mhm.
He's learning to be a nicer character, but I mean, he still
It's
has his issues. He's still
issues,
learning
yeah.
to deal with them, and Star is just kind of a roadblock in a lot of their ways. Like, kind of like in the last episode, Reina's really upset because she feels like everybody cares more about Star because Star, and she needs all the attention in the world. So when Reina gets a boyfriend and everybody's all like, "Oh, Reina, your boyfriend's abusing Star. We don't like your boyfriend. You need to get rid of him." Even though Reina doesn't see what's actually going on, it makes her mad because she feels like everybody's just trying to make her unhappy and put her down. And
Yeah.
that's why Star doesn't say anything, because she knows that Reina's happy,
Mhm.
but she doesn't want people thinking she can't take care of herself. And that's why I really liked Bluebird, because it showed that Star is trying to take care of herself and she's trying to stick up for herself. She didn't mean to get Dustin involved in it,
Yeah.
but she ended up doing it anyways on accident. And they get annoyed with her because it's just kind of like Star finds herself in these issues and these problems that she can't get herself out of, and somebody always ends up having to come and rescue her. And I think that was kind of the character idea for Star, was just kind of like, it's me, like, I think I can take care of myself, but there's so many things that I can't do by myself.
Yeah.
And I always find myself asking for help for the smallest things, and I feel like I'm a burden to people. So I feel like that's Star's character plot, is that she's kind of like a burden to everybody. So she tries her absolute hardest not to ask for help, but she ends up getting in the way of everybody's life, and everybody feels like they have to take care of her. And I
Yeah.
think that's why they start falling apart towards the end, because they're kind of tired of taking care of her, because she's just, it's kind of a pain to take care of her because she gets herself into so many problems, but she's not trying to involve them in her problems. And I
Yeah.
think that's why when she goes to college, she's really trying to mature on her own and take initiative and take care of herself. And that's why it's a lot for her to do, because she's really trying to prove that she doesn't need anybody to help her.
Yeah, and that's true because I feel Star little by little is growing, and I mean her friends have, I think, just overlooked a lot of her. I mean I know you put Alec in there, he's just gonna go on some killing rampage and go kill all of Star's friends and torture them and say, why are you all mean to Star? But I understand when you've been friends with people for so long, there's gonna be disagreements, there's gonna be that they don't see things eye to eye or anything like that, and they might get on each other's nerves. So I can understand them getting annoyed at times, but they should still be there when she needs her. And sometimes I
Yeah.
feel that they kind of like, yeah, whatever, So I'm looking forward to the finale. I'm looking forward to start having a brand new set of friends. Um, Nothing against the voice actors, y'all are amazing, but y'all's friends, y'all need to get it together. But no, I mean it's a and your series is so creative, and I kind of like, I like seeing Star get into her little situations, because in the end sometimes we've all gotten into these situations at one point in our lives, and sometimes things just happen one after the other. So, um, that's just life. But yes, I'm happy for new friends. I'm team new friends. Me. So while you're writing, do you ever have moments of where you might go back and just rechange everything? Like, do you stick to what you write or?
I feel that a lot. That's why I haven't sent out the first and second part of the finales. Like the scripts for the first and the second part of the finale are finished. Mm-hmm. But because I'm writing the third part right now, I don't want to send it out until I know that the script is finalized. Mm-hmm. Only because I've gone through so many times where I write the script and I send it out, and then as I'm filming, I think, oh, this would have been a great scene, and then you kind of sit there and battle whether or not you should go with it or not. And there's the in Winter, the scene where Star and Connor are sharing a milkshake that wasn't actually part of the original script, and I thought it would be. I added it because we all saw in Winter how her friends, they didn't mean to abandon her on her birthday, but because they had something to do on her birthday, I brought in Connor to show that even though they weren't there, that there's somebody to sit down and talk with her about how she feels. And I added the scene in, and Connor's voice actor was never originally part of it. And I messaged him and I said, hey, can you record lines for this scene? And he sent them in super fast, and I was super excited because it just it wasn't originally a part of the script. Mm-hmm. So watching as I filmed and coming up with other ideas, and I tend to do it a lot. I'm very, very extra when it comes to my filming. So I will sit there and I will put in extra little details that aren't in the script. But yeah, so for the finale, I'm really waiting until I'm done with the third part, so that way I can go through and make sure that everything is up to where I want it to be. Now, unfortunately, because I know how I am, I'm probably still going to be adding in scenes here and there even after I've sent out the scripts. But I'm really trying not to do that this time because I want everything to just be kind of finalized. And I don't want to throw anything off. But I have gone back and rewritten a whole bunch of scenes. I struggled a lot with Bluebird, actually. I had so many scenes in Bluebird. There was supposed to be a scene that referenced that Star's cat was dying.
Oh, gosh.
And I got rid of it because it didn't fit the actual flow of the episode. And there was a whole other scene where Dustin was learning Star's fish's names in Bluebird, and I got rid of it because it didn't fit. And there were just some other scenes that I liked, but I didn't know what they belonged. And what I learned from writing the older plots is that I just kind of picked some characters and wrote down nonsense scenes. And there's a lot of that in the second season. Uh-huh. And I think maybe the reason I like that is because it's kind of got a humorous factor to it. But then when I started asking my mom for her input and stuff, that's when my plots actually began to build plots. Like, in the first season, there's not really specific plots for any of the episodes except for, the plots with Star and Connor and his abusive side. But season 2, towards the end of that, I started getting some help with the writing, and that's when the show actually began to develop actual plots. Mm-hmm. And I think that's when the show kind of formed itself to where I wanted it to be, because before I was just writing a bunch of nonsense down on paper and then just filming it. And I think that's also why the first version of Fly Away didn't make it very well, because I wrote down a bunch of nonsense, which caused plot holes, and it made it super hard to film, and that's why I rebranded it a couple years later.
Ah, that makes sense. So how did you, speaking of rebranding, how did you come up with your flyaway shop? Like, did you just say, I'm just going to start making merch? Or, what was the process, and how did you decide to take that step?
So I still do. I had a Teespring. And basically, if you don't know what Teespring is, it's just an online shop. You upload your images and they make stuff for you. Mm-hmm. And I was a part of a Facebook group for Animal Crossing, and one of the artists in there was constantly making washi tape for Animal Crossing, and I thought that was the coolest thing ever. And of course, fly away is so important to me that the first thing I thought was, how can I do that but for fly away? And there were just so many things I wanted to do. And, I'm not going to lie, the teddy bears came from the dollar store, not the t-shirts. I had to buy those myself and make those myself. But the teddy bears came from the dollar store. I went in like February one year, and there were all these multicolored teddy bears. Some of them smelled like chocolate, some of them smelled like vanilla, and I just thought it would be so cool if I could have little goodie bags. And that's when I came up with the idea, okay, well, if I buy these teddy bears, then I can iron on the logo onto a small little shirt that'll fit a teddy bear.
Mm-hmm.
And I can brand it as a fly away teddy bear. And then I just kind of put all this work into the teddy bears and into the stickers, and then, the tape came along, and it was just really cool to me. And also, like I said, because of the Teespring, I think it was a couple years ago, I created a Google form and I sent it to my voice actors, and I said, when the show ends, I would like to thank you guys for helping me. And I listed things that I could make for like blankets, pillows, whatever that were on the Teespring. And some of them filled it out, and it made me super excited because that was my way of payment. And I haven't sent any of that stuff out yet. But now that I'm getting closer to finishing the finale and, I've got money, I want to pay all of the voice actors in the finale. Only because it's like they've been, maybe not all of them, like obviously extras haven't, but like I want to pay my voice actors for sticking with me for such a long time. And because the finale is such a big project, it's like I want to pay everybody for their help. And I've had a couple of voice actors tell me they don't want to be paid because they did it for fun, and I totally get that. But it's also like, you need to let me thank you and repay you for your time. And so I haven't fully decided yet. It's still sitting in the back of my brain because I really want to do it, but I haven't fully decided on if I'm going to pay them and how I'm going to pay them yet. So only a handful of them know about it. But that's those are just the ones who replied to me. Everybody else just kind of, if they didn't reply, they probably don't know about it.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure. I guess I see it me when I voice act. I mean, we do it for fun, but then we do it for, the love of the project. Being that they've been on the project for so long, just shows how much dedication they have to your show, and for me, I would never ever want to be paid. And I understand where they're coming from because they have been these characters for so long. So, and they did it because, they support you and they love you, and they just enjoyed being on the project. It's like when Lou tells me, "Oh, Wild House might come in soon," and I'm like, "What?" Like, no more Julia? Like, I'm so sad about that. Just knowing that when things get close to an end, you get used to the character,
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure they're used to their character, so they're gonna probably feel weird, like, whoa, I'm not voicing, Zach or Maddie or Dustin or Renee.
Yeah.
So it'll be hard. I mean, I understand you wanting to give back, and I feel that, like, there's days where I'm just like, when I listen to my voice actors, especially the ones in Great Heights, where I'm just like, I couldn't ask for a better cast because they are all just simply like mind-blowing. So I wish if I had money, like, I would love to pay them, but I get where you're coming from, and then I get the director side, and then I get the voice acting side, where it's like, I'm just doing it because I love the project, So it's understandable.
And see, like, I'm the same way. So it's like, if this wasn't my project, I would be like, oh no, you don't have to pay me. But also at the same time, money to a lot of people is money. And like, I voiced a small role. I don't know if the series is still going or not. They haven't really uploaded lately, but I had a paid role in the Sims 2 Machinima series, The Well. and because it was a smaller character, I think I really only made like $5 per line per episode or whatever. But I ended up getting like she would give bonuses depending on like if you were active voice actor and how fast you would turn in. So I made like $15 from that show, and I would have done it for free. But because I mean, to me, I still view myself as a teenager, a kid. So to me, the smallest dollar is still money to me.
Yeah.
And to me, it's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna audition for this paid project because imagine getting paid for voice acting, you know? So it's like, to me, that's why it's like, I understand that it's like we've been a part of this project for so long that they don't want to take the money. But it's also like, but this is my way of thanking you for taking this part.
Yeah.
And that's also why I like to hold the gold stars, because even though not everybody plays it, I want more people to play it. That's why I always give chances to unlock the. I only have the room locked because it used to be open to everybody, and because my anxiety is really bad, I feel like I bother people if I tag them every Tuesday. That way, the only people getting tagged is the people that can see that room. But
yeah.
I like holding gold star because that's my way of saying thank you for taking the time to be my friend. Thank you for taking the time to watch Fly Away, because obviously if you watch Fly Away, you like it enough to be a part of my server.
Yeah.
And that means you like me enough too. And that's why I make all the prizes free. And it just feels so good to me to be able to give back to people. Because seeing them smile, and I know that whenever I would win giveaways and things, it always made me feel so good, because those are things that a lot of people want. And so when you guys play Gold Star with me every Tuesday and we cast a winner, it makes me so happy to announce who my winners are and to ask you what prizes you guys want. I did have to take down a prize. I mean, it's still available to get, but the way to get it is kind of tedious. There's an iPhone app full of flyaway stickers, and it was created by my ex. And I'm really happy with all the work. And if you win it, you get a code to download it for free. And I don't have any of those codes. And when we were together, I told him that he should give me the codes, but he didn't like that idea. So I removed it from the prizes. I mean, obviously, because they're my stickers, I would love for anybody who has an iPhone to have the stickers. So it's like, it's still obtainable to get, but they can't be gotten through me. And it's just kind of a long process, because we're not in talking terms right now. So it's hard for me to be like, oh yeah. So like Dale, he won the stickers, and I really wanted him to have them. But I had no idea on how to get them to him. And so I told him, if you want them, you need to go ask the person themselves for the code. Otherwise, I'll have to give you another prize, because I don't have those codes. So it's like, that is a thing that's out there. It's only $1. So it's not expensive. It's just $1 for a little flyaway stickers. It was supposed to get updated, but because we're no longer in speaking terms, I don't think it will be updated. But there's a lot of cool stickers. They're all drawn by Sushi Cat, and her art's really great. So if you want more Flyaway, there's an app on the App Store for Flyaway stickers. That's only $1. So
that's so cool. I mean, and I like all your prizes. Like I know I won one, and I got a video where I got to steal Zach's. I mean, because like when I won, Star's like, what prize do you want? And I'm thinking, well, what prize do I want? And I don't want, I was just happy to win. I didn't really expect a prize. And I said, oh, a video sounds awesome, because I personally love your little mini skit videos. And those are so funny and so cute that I watch them at work once in a while, just when I'm like feeling down, because they're so cute and they're funny. But I said, oh my God, like when I want a skit. I want a skit. What kind of skit do I use? And I said, and since Ryan's probably the only one from your cast that I talk to on a regular basis, I said, And there was a scene where he was just obsessed with bacon.
Yeah.
And I said, what if I stole his food and he had no food to eat? That would be a good skit. So I mean, and then you wrote it so well. So I love your skit. So
I was actually impressed, because I like the minis, because they kind of help give me new creativity. And actually, fun fact, for the real show that's coming out, those are also going to have minis. They're all kind of told through Zach talking to the camera. So Zach's standing at his camera doing stuff Zach would do, and he kind of just leads us into the stories of what happened. Like the first mini for the real TV show is about how Star got banned from the candy store. And Zach just kind of takes us on this journey on the story of how Star got herself kicked out of the candy store. And I made the minis one day. I wasn't originally going to make the minis, but one of my friends, as a prize, they asked if Matheson could tell Star he was pregnant. And I said no. Because it made no sense to me because Matheson's a boy. So it's like, why would Matheson be pregnant? But because I'm the giving person I am, I messaged Gimbitman, and I didn't tell anybody I was doing it, but I messaged Gimbitman, and I said, hey, when you get the chance, do you think you could record this line? And Gimbitman was totally on board. And then after that video came out, everybody just kind of fell in love with it. So then everybody started requesting a video every time they won. And that's kind of how the whole Matheson having a baby story came along. And then, now we're kind of on the quote-unquote second season. It's not really a season, but, there's different plots in each part of it. The first half was Matheson and Dustin getting married, having a baby. Then the second half kind of has to do with video games and junk. So, and just kind of weird things. And then nobody's won one lately, so that's why there hasn't been another one yet.
And I like those videos. They're so cute. Like, whoever comes up with these ideas is and then the way you bring it to life, it's just so awesome to watch.
And I made those minis because I've seen so many directors let their viewers have a say in what happens in the show. But then they're unhappy with the end result because that's not how they wanted their story to go, but because they have such a big fan base that they let their fans kind of control it. And to me, with Fly Away, I can't really say I relate. But with the minis, that was my way of letting them have whatever they wanted to happen. And whatever they wanted to happen could happen because it was not canon to the show, meaning Matheson and Dustin could have a baby and it wouldn't interrupt my plot because it's not canon. And that's also why I put them on my other channel, so that way it didn't really interfere with the real stuff that was going on. And I know it's confused Alec, and I know it's confused Tia, because they go over there and wait a minute, why am I not subscribed to this channel? Is this not your channel? And that's why I kept the name the same, because I like to see if it'll throw people off when they watch videos from that channel to see the different pictures and junk, because it's not my main channel. My main channel is dedicated to my little advertising the server and advertising the tape and actual Fly Away. So the little shout out videos I have, and I think Selena's the only one that has some up to date where characters will actually shout out. Those go on my main channel because to me that's kind of a way of saying, hey everybody, join the server so you can get a shout out from your favorite characters.
And
but I really on the back
it. But they're so cute, and I hope to win another one. I need to put. I mean, it's hard because sometimes I think when you post, I'm either away from my computer or I might be at work, and then I'm like, what do I put? I'm just gonna put Zach. I'll just put Zach for. I just put Zach for everything because eventually I know one of it will be.
The caption Zach was already one of them, so you missed your chance.
I missed it. Ugh.
But I think this one's a little bit harder, and I think that's why I like this one, because we had a coloring competition one time too. I gave Fly Away coloring pages, and I always felt so biased with those because it's you can't really judge people's art and whatnot, but only one person would submit for those, so they kind of went each time. But I was getting really bored of the caption this because that's what we always play. So I took a twist on it, and I thought, okay, I'll have Star sing a song about one of the characters, and they have to guess each week which character they're singing about. And I had to get Gimbitman to go in and play because it was Thursday and nobody was getting it correctly. And I said, Gimbitman, do you want some of my tape? And he said, yeah, I'd love some. I said, okay, I need you to go play Gold Star. If you win it, you can have my tape. And I was actually surprised with the answer he picked because it was wow, he actually did win Gold Star.
Wow.
And and I was really proud of him for that. I totally didn't say, "Hey, Kimberman, here's the answer." That would have been funny though if I just fed him the answer.
But
But
he got it right. That's so cool.
he got it right, and so I get to mail out some tape to him this coming week.
Yeah, he's gonna be super excited because the tape is like super super amazing. So I use it. I mean, and I do use it on my calendar at work because it just work is so stressful, and I guess when I look at my calendar I'm like, oh, that's Star's tape, and it kind of makes me feel good because I do respect everybody in the community, and I love being a part of the community. So it's so awesome that I get to meet a lot of you all. So it does make me feel good because some days where you're just like, ugh, it gives me something to kind of be excited about. So, and it's cute, guys. So if y'all have not gotten any of these washi tapes, you need to use them in your calendars. They're awesome. So, my next question: what advice would you give new coming directors and creators that are starting out?
Personally, I say do it for you. This is a hard one for me. Don't let the numbers or people's appreciation for your work get you down, because at the end of the day, no one is going to enjoy your project as much as you're going to enjoy it. And that's something that I had to learn the hard way, because I constantly missed back in 2012 when I was constantly just uploading every day for myself. Some people would see it, some people wouldn't see it, some people would comment, and obviously it feels super magical when people comment on your videos. And I think the problem is that I kind of let joining the community get to my head a little bit. So now that I knew that I was actually a part of the community, I thought, okay, so now that I'm actually a part of it, people are going to watch it, and they do watch it. It's just hard because it's like, for me, it was always hard because I was just expecting people to fall in love with it, to love it as much as I did, and I really stopped loving what I was doing because I felt like people weren't loving what I was doing. And it causes a lot of mental health issues, and I wish I could have just told myself when I started, just keep doing it for yourself. And I think that's the only advice I can give is, if you love what you're doing, then just keep doing it, whether anybody else loves it. And I think that's why it's hard for the community, because I feel like a lot of people feel very underappreciated, especially when it comes to the newer drama with like the award shows and stuff. And it's a super hard thing. And I think that's why it's so cool that we've got the Plum Bob Awards, because now directors who are just like us can give us feedback on how to improve, and whether or not you decide to take that advice, that's up to you. And I mean, there's some things there's some things that I'm not going to change. Like when we did the Plum Bob Awards last year, I had a couple of, I guess, complaints that some of the furniture stuck out. And it didn't bother me, but it made me laugh because it's like, well, I mean, I could totally change the way that this set looks because to some people it sticks out too much. But for me, who's had that set for so many years, I'm not going to change the way my sets look just because it's unappealing to some people, you know? So my advice is just do it for yourself. If people give you criticism, take it. If it's helpful criticism, definitely listen to it. But at the end of the day, it's your project. You don't have to do what anybody tells you to do. Yeah, and I totally wish that's something that I learned, because I loved making some Machinima when I was 12. Nobody's opinions bothered me, but now I constantly find myself going, am I going to get complaints on this? How is this going to come across? You know, and I wish I could get back into that older mindset that I'm doing it for myself and to share my story with you guys.
Yeah, it totally makes sense, because I think all of us go through that. I go through that constantly. I still second guess. I mean, there's just days where I'm just like really doubtful, but I totally get that. And that advice that you give out is perfect, because I think some of us forget about that. We forget that it's for us and not for anybody else, you know, regardless whether we have, you know, some of us only have 150 subscribers while others have like thousands, and it's not about the numbers. If you even have, I guess, if you have a handful of people that enjoy your series, then you're doing something. And if you're making yourself happy, that's even better. That's probably the number
Exactly.
one thing.
And like,
Mhm.
it does hurt. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, it does hurt when like the same creators just continue to support the same 5 creators. But at the end of the day, we're all part of this beautiful community. We're all passionate about the same thing. And sometimes every now and then I'll still feel down about it, like, oh, nobody's watching Fly Away or whatever. I'll still feel down about it constantly from time to time. But I'm really glad that I was able to open this door, that I'm doing it for me now. And
Yeah.
because I'm wrapping it up, I'm really just doing it for me. Sometimes I still think about how things are going to come across, but because Fly Away is so important to me, I'm really just doing it for me at this point.
And what I love about your shop is that you personally gift wrapped everything. You
Yes.
put you put your. I love the notes that you send me, so I still keep them. So it feels good to get something from somebody else.
Everything off that shop is handmade by me. Like, not yet, but I'm actually launching new earrings. So I've got teddy bear earrings and bunny earrings. They'll be coming to the shop soon. I'm just
excited.
they're sturdy for me, but before I can sell them, I want to make sure they'll be sturdy for everybody else, because for me, if they break, I can fix them. But I don't want to sell it to somebody and then they get it, the hook is off, and I want to make sure that everything is sturdy when I send it off. But everything on the Flyaway shop is made with love, and all of my energy goes into it. You get a cute little handwritten note in this cute little card that kind of looks like a cupcake. Like, it's got like sprinkles on it. You get a handwritten card from me with love, thanking you. With every purchase, you get 1 free sticker. And the stickers are very good sized. And the bags, the logos, the stickers, everything on that site is made by me and picked out by me. Like, the little bags that the tape comes in, I spent like a month searching for something cute to stick the tape in, because I did not want to pay $300 for boxes for it to come in. So the little glitter bag that it comes in took me about like a month to find, because I wanted it to be perfect. So everything on that shop is 100% handmade by me with love.
And I think that's what I like about your shop, is that, I mean, I know everybody gets like these sites that make the stuff, but
Exactly.
I think what's awesome about this is that it comes from you, and just to know that you put just that extra care and love in the packages, I think really does make us as the buyer feel better. Like, I get like when I open it, I'm excited. Like, I'm thinking, okay, what is she gonna write? Did she write something different? I can't wait to see how it's wrapped, because you wrap it so beautifully. So it's awesome. Next question. Luana asks, anything Star remembers through her 10 years in particular, something that had an effect on her?
There was a lot that happened, but I guess one of my favorite things that happened was when I first started the community. Voiceover projects were a very new thing, but they were becoming popular. And Jessica, if she's still in the chat, I remember I would go and we had a little community section. It wasn't really called community, but we could like talk to each other on each other's channels. And I remember I went and messaged her asking if she would audition for the show I had at the time. And I didn't think I was going to get a reply, because she was such a big creator and I was such a small little channel with like 2 subscribers. And she got back to me and she asked, where's the audition video? Now, at the time, I didn't have an actual audition video. It was just kind of like a video with audition lines inside the video. And so there was no script with like lines or anything. It was the most amateur thing ever. But the fact that she replied to me, like, it starstruck me. And then she had a casting call for her project. And back in the day, I went by Starlight Starbright 15. And she casted me in her project. And I remember getting so grumpy because she must have misheard my name or whatever, because she wrote Starlight Starbright 55. And I remember
Oh.
going like, oh, well, I'm glad that person gets to be in it. I can't believe there's two Starlight Starbrights in the community. And then, that was back in the day when we had the inboxes inside YouTube, where like people could inbox you in YouTube.
Oh,
And I
wow.
found a script in there, and I was super excited that I made it into Jessica's show and we got to be friends. I think that's probably one of the most positive things. I think something that makes me laugh to this day is when I started out in the community, it was just me and like 3 other small channels that no longer exist. But we talked every day. We watched each other's projects. We were like best friends. It was just me and like 3 other small people. And it makes me feel great knowing that even though they're not in the community anymore, I continued to go on with my Machinima storytelling. So I think those are the things that I remember through my 10 years in particular that had an effect to me.
Oh, okay. Awesome. Awesome. I think it's cool when you've been friends with people for so long and you just support. I mean, I know I'm like really close to Lou, and I talk to Alec, and I talk to Tia, mostly them on a regular basis, but and I support them. I'll support everybody that I know, but then I want to support everybody else, the people that I don't get to talk to very often. Like, I love to go and support Mitch and stuff like that. And I love to go support Luana. I talk to her too. And even, yeah, I know sometimes it feels that, like how you were saying, like the same directors are only supporting themselves, and, you know, they kind of stick on their own and everybody else sticks on their own. But I guess for me it's good when we support everybody, because I think that's how it should be. We should just support
Yes.
everybody, and we're all in this little community. There's not a lot of us Machinima's directors, because everything is about this let's play thing or whatever. So
Yes.
we all need to support one another, and that's how it should be, whether we're directors or voice actors. As long as we're involved in the community, we should all support each other. So
Exactly.
I totally
And
totally get that.
that's why I like my server. I've been in a handful of
Mm-hmm.
mini Sims
Mm-hmm.
Machinima servers, and a lot of those Sims Machinima servers were dedicated to like maybe somebody else's show. And they were okay if you talked about your projects, but they obviously got really mad when you talked about it. And
Mm-hmm.
it made me personally feel unwanted in a lot of those places. So I made my own. And even though it was dedicated to Flyaway at first, it still is. There's still the Flyaway
Mm-hmm.
rooms and stuff.
Yeah.
But because it's my server, I feel it's my job to make everybody in that server feel welcome. And even though nobody does it, I want to hear about people's projects. Even if it's the Flyaway server, I'm so happy that people are working on things that it's like, I don't care, this is my server. Tell me what you're working on. Share your pictures. Share your links. I want to see it, because my small little community on Discord, because I feel like us directors each have our own mini version of a community.
Mm-hmm.
And I wouldn't really say they're our fans, but we're all friends.
Yeah.
And we all have different people watching us at different times. And what I like about mine is that if you're in my server, you're going to get treated with love and respect, because obviously I want people that are going to treat me with love and respect. And if I didn't think they didn't fit there, they wouldn't be there.
Yeah.
And because they're there, they're going to be so supportive of your projects and whatever you're doing. And I love how wholesome a lot of the people I've met along the way are. And I'm so happy for the friends that I've made. And I'm so happy that the friends that I've made are in my server, because they're just like Robert. Just met the guy, but he's so nice and loving, and he's super active in there, and it just makes me feel happy knowing that people feel at home.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's my job, to make people feel like they're at home.
Yeah, and it's such a good server. I know I'm not very talkative, and I'm sometimes I am, sometimes I'm not. I guess because I'm always either, and it's funny because I'm online during the day, but I'm at work, so I'm just like,
Yeah.
I come in and out, and then I'll like see something, and then I'll check if there's like the little minis or contests or the 3 4 stars going up, and I'm like, wait a minute, let me guess, and I can't. I'm just thinking to myself, I'm just putting the same answer. Um, Connie asks, how will you express your creativity when you're done making machinima?
Okay, so I don't know if everybody knows, but currently in the works right now, there is a flyaway book being written.
Ooh.
And I am in love with how the book sounds right now. I don't know if anybody knows this book, but to me, the Flyaway book is like if Junie B. Jones were an adult.
Oh.
And I grew up on those books, stubborn little kid, kind of goes through issues in elementary school. To me, Flyaway, it's coming from Star's perspective. So we always hear like Star's voice in our head. And I like first person books where it's like their life. And there's different stories and different scenarios. We still go through a lot of the same stuff, but like most books, it's told in a very different way.
Yeah.
And I'm in love with the book because unlike TV and Sims Machinima, it gives me a lot more creative room to put whatever I want to put in there. Like, obviously, it has to make sense. But, like, in Sims Machinima or TV, I can't write in certain scenes because it makes no sense. But in the book, I can basically, it's kind of like a diary for my thoughts. I can put in things that I've been through, and I don't really have to sugarcoat it as much because it's a book. And I don't have to think about workarounds and how it fits into the plot because it's a book. And so there's a Flyaway book. Also, the scripts for Flyaway are being written to be a TV show. Oh. So I'm planning on, I've got to get all the scripts written first, but I'm planning on selling Flyaway to one of those companies like Hulu. I was thinking Netflix, but seeing where they're going, I'm kind of not sure about them at the moment, but I know they're buying a lot of stories. So Hulu, Netflix, Amazon Prime, that's kind of my goal to get Flyaway on TV. It's always been a dream of mine to see the stuff I've worked on TV. And because Flyaway is so dear to me, that's the show I want to go with. And I'll probably be making other stories for like TV or books, whatever too. But that is where I will be going after Machinima. Plus, after I finish animated Flyaway and I finish college, I think I'm going to go to school for real estate. So that way I can get my realtor's license on the side of filming Flyaway. So that way I've got 2 different incomes coming in. And that's just something that's kind of always I thought was cool.
Yeah, that is cool. I mean, that I wish I can sell houses. I see a lot. I have friends that I have on in real book, like in Facebook, that I see sell houses, and I'm like, wow. I mean, they make pretty good. You have to have good people skills. Sometimes I feel like I don't have good people skills. I guess
I'm kind of a mix. I'm very anxious. I'm very shy. But when it's for something I'm passionate about, and I feel like if I put a lot of effort into learning about selling houses and stuff, that I could be passionate enough to sell myself, so people would want to buy with me. And my mom does videography for real people in the real estate, so she knows a whole bunch of people. That's where all of her friends come from. They've suggested some really good schools, and it's really cool. And that's kind of where I get video from, because my mom used to make videos and stuff. So kind of following after my mom, but in more of a TV direction, whereas she's just social media and helping other people make their stuff.
That's so cool. That's so cool. And let me see. I'm trying to see where the questions go. Okay, so Jessica asks, what is your favorite Flyaway character that is male?
I think I kind of stated this in the beginning, but I really like Zach, because he just... I love all of my male characters kind of to the same equivalency, because they've all got their own things going on that makes me love them for who they are. But Zach, I just feel like he's the nicest. I mean, him and Star have had a little bit of a falling out here and there in the second season, but those were more of an emotional thing. Whereas, I mean, Dustin's kind of mean to her on his own accord. Mattison is kind of, and I mean this in the most polite way, he's kind of dumb. So he's got issues with his emotions, and even though he really likes Star, he can't tell her how he feels, and because he can't tell her how he feels, he kind of lets his emotions eat him, and it causes him to lash out on Star a lot.
Yeah.
Like also in the second season, he lashes out on her because she doesn't fully tell him her secrets, and it makes him mad.
Mhm.
But he also didn't tell her that she could talk to him about them, so I mean, that's Matheson kind of in a nutshell. Whereas Zach, he's loving, he's super funny, he's obsessed with food, and like
Yeah.
at the end of the day, he wants to be there for Star. He loves Star. He wants to be with Star. He wants to make her happy. And I've also thought about them all in relationship terms towards Star. And I think Zach is the only stable one who can actually take care of Star, because he can tell Star no when she's having her childish moments, like throwing a tantrum. And he's not going to feel all sad and guilty for telling her no. Whereas Matheson, he tells Star no, Star cries, then Matheson cries because Matheson made Star cry, and then, they can't, he's not there, like, he loves her, but he would never be able to help hold down a relationship. I think Matheson needs somebody that can help hold him down, which would, I guess, in my opinion, would be Reina, because Reina can take care of both Matheson and Star, because they're both innocent, naive, they kind of need that helping hand, and I think that's Zach to Star.
Yeah.
Dustin, even though I love the idea of Star and Dustin does like Star, he made that clear in episode 5. Let's be honest, they all kind of have a thing for Star. But Dustin is a little more difficult because Dustin has his own issues, so he's constantly thinking about himself, and he's more of a player. So all he can really think about is how many girls he can get or whatnot. And even though it doesn't really matter because it's like, that's Dustin in a nutshell, it's kind of hard for him to have a relationship, like a stable one, because how he's going to go about that, I have no idea, because all we ever really see from him is that he likes having a female companion, but he can never really commit to just one female companion.
Yeah, he looks like I think he's gotten through so much issues really young that he needs to sort his stuff. Like, basically, he needs to sort his shit out, and then finally he can commit. I mean,
and like, that's why I like him with Star, because since she's so nice and cute, I feel like she kind of helps even him out a little bit. But if he yells at her, she's not going to handle it properly, because she doesn't do well with people yelling and being angry and stuff, because she always feels like it's her fault. So if he yells at her, she's not going to handle it, and whether or not he can make her feel better or calm her down, he's not stable enough to be able to fully, he likes her a lot, that he would want to change for her, but it's so hard to commit, and also he should really change for himself and not for another person. And so a relationship with him is kind of difficult, and that's kind of why I like him with Sydney, because they kind of have a friend with benefits kind of relationship. They both don't mind, like, obviously nobody wants to be used, but they both don't mind that same companion from each other.
Yeah, they're kind of like at the same level in a way.
Exactly. And like, so Dustin's a little bit harder when it comes to the relationships, and so Zach is just more stable in my brain, and I think that's also why he's my favorite, because he's not mean to Star. He'll pick on her here and there, because, I mean, let's be honest, everybody picks on everybody here and there, but like, I think Zach is just better for Star, and he's funny, and I enjoy writing for his character, because I can make him say some of the most ridiculous things, but it'll make us laugh because it's totally something Zach would say.
Yeah. I just feel sometimes Zach will be like, do I want to take Star on a date, or do I want to eat this double cheeseburger with bacon and French fries and pizza? So,
and that's kind of a scene that I finished writing for the finale. There's one scene in the finale where Reina wants to go to the art museum, but Zach wants to go to the cheese festival. And so Reina and Zach get in this fight because they're in Paris. And Reina's like, we're in Paris. We're going to go to the art museum, not the cheese festival. And Zach's being all whiny because he wants to eat food. And he's upset because they missed breakfast. So they kind of split up. Matheson goes to the art museum with Reina. And Star goes to the cheese festival with Zach. Yeah. But I think that's why I like Zach's character, because I can basically write anything that has to do with food. There's also another scene in the finale where Zach's kind of grumpy. And he's grumpy because the person working the hot dog stand won't let him have 2 hot dogs.
Oh my god.
And he's upset. He says, if I'm paying for 2 hot dogs, you should give me 2 hot dogs. Oh my god. So it's just, if I can write in anything with food, that's basically who Zach is. He's an anime loving foodie.
And he gains no weight, no inches to his waist. He's
exactly.
That's just every male. Jessica says, can you do a kitty impersonation? I like the rainbow onesies. They taste like cherry.
So Jessica had a movie called Brain vs. Magic, and I got to voice one of the main little ghost kids. Her name was Kitty. And her voice is kind of identical to Star's. And she really likes it when I do an impersonation, and because she requested it, assuming she's still here, I will go ahead and do it. I like the rainbow ones. They taste like cherry. And so
that is so cute. Do you I mean, because I know Star's voice, I mean, you adjust your voice to play Star. Do you have moments where it hurts when you're adjusting your voice, or
so for Star, her voice is my voice whenever I'm really shy and excited. So whenever I become really excited, my voice raises a couple of octaves. And when I get excited, I'll be like, oh my god, you guys, I got candy, and I'm super excited, and I can't wait to share it with you guys. And like, that's why people fall for my voice sometimes, because my voice is higher than a lot of people. And even my normal voice is still a little bit higher than other people. But like, when I'm excited, my voice raises so many octaves. And so Star wasn't so hard. But as I began to, and I also started voicing Star when I was like 15. So it was a lot easier for me to roll into that voice. Whereas now I can still do it, but it did begin to hurt my voice only because towards the end she was doing a lot of yelling. Oh, okay. And so doing that voice with like yelling and stuff, it kind of got harder. So I had to bring her voice down a little bit. So it still sounds exactly the same, but it's a little bit softer. So instead of, oh my god, you guys, I got candy today and I'm so excited to share with everybody, it's more like it, oh my god, you guys, I got candy today and I'm so excited to share it with you all. Like, there's 2 different tones to it. One sounds a little bit more energetic. One still sounds energetic, but it's a lot nicer for my voice, my throat. It doesn't hurt it. And like, it never really hurt my voice before. People would always be amazed, like, wow, you can go so high and not hurt your throat. But that's because that's my voice when I'm really excited and when I'm really shy. But doing it for so long, and because I would send out 3 scripts at a time, I'd have to do it over and over and over again. And sometimes, you mess up lines and stuff. And so getting into that voice was kind of hard at points, because it's like, my voice naturally is very nasally. And so to find the right pitch of nasal, it's like, no, that's not her voice, even though it is her voice. And I've learned, and I've realized towards the very end of Fly Away, her voice is slowly transitioning more into my voice. Wow. And I think it really fits, because even though she still has this high voice, she's like, when she's grumpy, like, one of the lines is like, well, maybe if you really love me, like you've been proclaiming that you to everybody else, that you should treat me better. Like, just hearing her say that line and saying it, it makes me realize how much of my real voice is coming out in that. Just like when I did Janelle in the Switch episode, when they all switched voices, it was kind of hard for me to do Janelle because Janelle is such a grumpy character. And Star's got this sweet, high-pitched voice. So I've noticed that when I sound upset as Star, it slowly sounds just like my voice. And like, you can't really tell. I can tell because it's me. But like, it really impresses me to watch as her voice slowly transitions into my voice.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's me. And like over the years, like my voices have gotten a lot higher, and I think it's a lot funnier because when I was an actual kid, when I was 13 and voicing and Fly Away and stuff, I sounded a lot more mature. Whereas
Yeah.
now that I'm 21, I sound a lot more like a little kid. And
Yeah.
it makes me laugh because I compared the very first voiceover Fly Away episode to the newest one, and my voice just got so much higher. And I just think it makes me laugh because as a little kid, you think that my voice was a very high as a little kid, but you think I'd be able to do even higher voices easier as a little kid. Whereas when I tried to do high voices as a little kid, I just kind of sounded like an adult who sounded like a little kid. Whereas now I sound like a little kid. And it just kind of makes me laugh because I'm not a little kid anymore.
Yeah, I get that. I mean, I don't know. I think I've had the same tone of voice forever, so I don't even remember what I sound like. Um, so my last question, and I want to thank everybody for coming by and stopping by. Welcome a lot of new people that I have never seen on the stream. So my last question will be, what do you want people to remember about you?
I guess my dedication. I want when people think about Stardew laVega, I want them to think, oh, she was so dedicated to that one project for 9 years. And because, like I said, like the Rivers, I think it's like 5 years old now, but it only has like 2 seasons. But knowing that Fly Away has been around since 2013, and it's finally it'll be wrapped up by like 2022. So knowing that it's taken so long for this one project, I think to me, that's what makes me happy. And reading Lady's messages when she tells me that my dedication is something that she loves about Fly Away, I think that's really something that genuinely makes me happy, is knowing that people are happy with how dedicated and how much time it's taken and how I've stuck with one project for so long. And I think that's what I want to be remembered by, is just my dedication and how nice of a person I am.
Yeah. And I want to say thank you. Thank you so much for being on the stream. I'm really happy that you said yes. It's so it's so nerve-wracking, I'll be honest, for me to ask anybody to interview. I actually this week I've been messaging people here and there. So some of them I'm like, whoa, you actually said yes, and some of them I'm like, cool, like excited, thank you for being on the stream. Thank you for taking the time out to sit with me and with your fans, a lot of them that are in the chat, to ask questions and stuff like that. So I'm looking forward to seeing the finale. I'm looking forward to seeing more work. So I'm excited. I'm so excited.
Well, thank you for having me. It was, like I said earlier, was a little nerve-wracking because I've never actually had an interview. I was supposed to have an interview for the Plum Bubble Awards last year, but I never actually got it. But I'm really excited that you wanted to interview me about Fly Away, and that's one of the most amazing things that could ever happen to me.
Yeah, and I know I work with Ali a lot in the Blump Up Awards, so I'm wondering if it was me that I was the one that was supposed to.
You were supposed to. Yeah, you were. And we tried setting up a date, but then you never followed through with me. Like, you never sent me another message. So then I kind of just forgot about it, and then
and I think that's what happened.
Yeah, the interview started being posted on the site, and I was like, oh, I never got my interview. But by the time I realized that I never got my interview, the season was over. And I was like, oh, well, it's fine.
And you see, I think what had happened was that Ali assigned like 6 directors for me to interview, right? Because everybody got assigned directors to interview. And I messaged everybody, and a lot of people were like, sure, like, I wanted to do a live chat. Nobody wanted to do a live chat. So then I said, let's chat. And some people didn't even want to chat with me. They just said, send me your note card. And I was like, and we'll fill out the answer. And I'm like, well, that's no fun because I want to interview you all. So I guess, and I only interviewed 2. And then some people messaged me back. Some people I needed to follow up, and then I guess I got discouraged because some of them were like, "Well, I'm like, I don't know." Like they were kind of being like not difficult, but
Yeah.
a little bit hard too. So, um, yeah, it's totally on me, my fault. But
But it's okay because we got this interview now.
yeah, and this is so much better. So I like it when I get to sit with you all and I actually get to interact with you all. So it's super super exciting. So again, thank you all to chat, everybody that came. You all keep an eye out for the finale when it comes out. I never get interviewed either. Rabbit, I have to interview you next, like as soon. Like I have a list of people I need to ask. You know, so because I was like, my idea, I want to interview Luana. So I know I told her like I want to interview her. I want Alec, but Alec is just being difficult with me. So I'm like,
He's being Alec.
He's being Alex. Alec is being Alec. I want to ask Rabbit because I am a huge fan of Not Another Anime. I hate it that I had to watch the horrific video of Robin being killed over and over again. I did actually talk to some voice actors, and I wanted to do like a male segment, sitting with 4 or 5 voice actors and interviewing them, like getting their take on, because some of the voice actors don't direct, but I wanted to get their take on how they feel acting in series and stuff like that. So I did ask some a lot of them said yes, all of them said yes, and then 1 or 2 just said, if I have the time, I'll make it. So that's awesome. Like just the fact that they said yes, and then they'll try to make the time, just like, wow. So hopefully that's to come. I'm hoping that in October. But I do want to interview Rabbit and Luana just because I do need to sit down with Rabbit because I need to talk about that video. And I want to do more interviews, but
I think you also need to interview Gimbitman.
I need to interview Gimbit, but I want to do a one-on-one with Gimbit because me and Alec and Lou had a stream where we had Gimbit on, where we were like talking. We sat down and we put a lot of shows that he was in, and we were talking about him with him, and then he had to leave, and we were like,
yeah.
But I think
that happens all the time with him.
Yeah. He's hard to. There's 2 male voice actors that are super hard to get, but I do want to do with Gimbit a one-on-one just because he's been in the community forever. Like
he didn't even show up tonight.
I know that's the thing. He was really busy. That we'll have to get after him. But again, thank you all for coming. Y'all have a good night.
Have a good night.
I don't want you to yell at me, though. I'm not going to yell at you, Rabbit. I'm going to calmly sit down with you and say, why do you got to break me like that? but yeah, I do want to interview them. And I'm getting to everybody. It's just been stressful at work. And a lot of things have happened. So I've been kind of up and down lately, but right now I've been really invested in Great Heights script, so I just focusing on that. So, but interviews, yes, I know I want to do at least 3 in October, so I will message everybody and see when they're available. So, but I promise, Rabbit, I will not yell at you. Maybe just like firm voices. All right.